everyone. Welcome back. Today, we're going to be doing a deep dive into the world of decentralized exchanges.
DEXs.
DEXs, yeah, in 2024.
Exactly.
We've got some really interesting data that kind of shows how they stacked up against the centralized exchanges.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see, even though DEXs haven't, taken over the entire market by any stretch,
Right.
they've made some pretty significant gains in the last year.
Yeah.
One report showed that DEXs reached almost 14%
Wow.
of total crypto exchange market share.
Okay.
And that peaked in November.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Especially considering, 2024 was sort of a recovery year from that nasty bear market we saw.
Yeah, for sure.
One of the things that I thought was really interesting is the surge in spot trading volume on DEXs.
Absolutely.
Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, so spot trading volume on DEXs increased a whopping 171% year over year.
Wow.
And that was likely fueled by, a renewed sense of optimism in the market.
Right.
Particularly, surrounding the November election.
Which, I think contributed to this more bullish sentiment among traders.
For sure. And, speaking of some exciting developments, the Solana blockchain, which is known for its speed and its low transaction fees, saw its DEX ecosystem really kind of explode in 2024.
Yeah, it really did. And a platform called Raydium emerged as like a real major player.
Mm-hmm.
In the Solana ecosystem, it holds about 30% of the spot trading volume share now.
Really?
Yeah, so it shows you how quickly things are changing within the DEX landscape.
For sure. And then derivatives trading on DEX also saw incredible growth.
Absolutely.
We're talking 328% increase year over year in volume.
Yeah.
So it seems like as, market conditions improved, traders were, eager to get back into these more speculative plays.
Right, and this also brings us to, the rise of perpetual DEXs, which allow traders to engage in perpetual contracts.
Right.
These contracts let you bet on the future price of an asset without an expiration date.
So it adds another layer of complexity and opportunity to the DEX ecosystem.
So there's like a battle brewing here.
There is, yeah. You have DYDX, which is a more established player.
Right.
That held a strong position, but then a new contender emerged called Hyperliquid.
Okay.
And it's built on its own custom layer 1 on the Cosmos blockchain.
Interesting.
So this gives Hyperliquid a potential advantage when it comes to performance and fees.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And then there's the fascinating world of prediction markets.
Yeah.
Did you know that Polymarket, which is a leading platform in this space, facilitated over $2 billion
Wow.
in monthly trading volume in October and November alone?
It's great.
And this was largely driven by the 2024 election,
Of course.
with people betting on everything from election results to policy outcomes.
Yeah, it's fascinating to see how the 2024 election really put prediction markets on the map.
Yeah.
And it begs the question, will this trend continue beyond political events?
Right.
Or will it fade away once the election hype dies down?
It's definitely something to watch.
Yeah.
But let's not forget another important trend, the rise of DEX trading bots.
Absolutely.
These automated tools are helping users get better prices on their trades and manage their portfolios more efficiently.
It's true.
We've got examples like Trojan Bonk Bot and Maestro,
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
each offering its own unique set of features.
Yeah, you can really see that DEX are attracting, more sophisticated traders and strategies.
Right.
But, the question remains.
What does the future hold?
What does the future hold?
Yeah.
And our sources point to some intriguing possibilities for 2025 and beyond.
Okay.
Like the potential of Base and Solana as hubs for DEX activity.
Yeah, they've seen incredible user growth
They have.
and, offer low transaction costs,
Yeah,
making them appealing platforms for, both developers and traders.
for sure.
And then there's this emerging debate about vertical integration versus composability
Right.
and the DEX landscape. What's your take on that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, if we connect this to the bigger picture, it's about how DEXs are choosing to build and integrate with other services.
Right.
So some platforms like Uniswap are going for a more vertically integrated approach.
Okay.
They're essentially building their own suite of tools and features,
Okay.
almost like a one-stop shop for trading needs.
Nah.
But then you have the other side of the coin, composability.
Right.
So composability is all about building DEXs that are modular and interoperable.
Okay.
Think of them like Lego blocks.
Yeah.
that can be easily combined with other protocols and services in the broader DeFi ecosystem.
And so instead of building like a walled garden, you're creating open source tools that anyone can use and build upon.
Exactly. And Multicoin is a good example of this approach. Well, they're focused on creating highly specialized, best-in-class components that can plug into other systems, allowing for more flexibility and customization.
Yeah, that's an interesting contrast. So what does all of this mean for the future of DEXs?
Well, it's honestly too early to say, and it might not be a binary choice.
Right.
We could very well see a hybrid model emerge where some DEXs lean towards vertical integration for a seamless all-in-one experience, while others focus on becoming, essential building blocks within a more open and interconnected DeFi ecosystem.
It sounds like it'll come down to user and developer preferences.
Absolutely. The market will ultimately decide which approach resonates most strongly and delivers the most value.
Yeah. This is certainly something for our listeners to consider.
For sure.
If you're thinking about using a DEX, think about what kind of experience you prefer.
Right.
Do you want a platform that does it all?
Yeah.
Or do you value the flexibility of mixing and matching different protocols and tools?
It's a great question to keep in mind as you navigate the world of DEXs.
Right.
Now, before we move on to the final section of our deep dive, I want to briefly touch on another aspect of the DEX landscape, where this idea of centralization versus decentralization is playing out. Prediction markets.
Okay, let's dive into that.
All right. So as you mentioned earlier, Polymarket saw incredible volume during the 2024 election cycle.
They did?
But the question is, can this momentum be sustained beyond political events?
Right, and the technology has advanced significantly.
It has.
Making it easier than ever for people to participate.
Right.
Platforms like Polymarket have made it quite user-friendly.
They have.
So we've got the infrastructure and we've seen the demand.
We do.
What are the challenges to sustaining this momentum?
That's a great question. Yeah, so, we left off last time talking about Base and Solana as potential hotspots for DEX activity.
Yeah.
And I think it's worth, kind of unpacking why these blockchains are drawing so much attention.
You're right. The sources highlighted both Base and Solana as, valuable real estate.
Yeah.
For DEX, what makes them so attractive?
Well, a big factor is the sheer number of users that they've managed to attract, particularly in 2024.
Right.
Part of that was driven by the meme coin craze, which brought a whole wave of new users to crypto.
For sure.
But beyond just numbers, it's also about the kind of user experience these blockchains offer.
So you're talking about low transaction fees.
Exactly. Low fees are a major draw.
Right.
Especially when you consider that high gas fees on, say, Ethereum can be a real barrier for many users.
Makes sense.
So from a developer standpoint, if you're building a DEX on Base or Solana, you can provide users with a faster and more affordable trading experience.
Right. It's like a big competitive advantage.
Absolutely.
In a space that's becoming increasingly crowded.
For sure. And there's another interesting aspect to their appeal.
Okay.
Both Base and Solana are seeing a lot of activity in the NFT and gaming sectors, which tend to attract a younger, more tech-savvy demographic.
So it's not just about catering to established crypto traders, but also tapping into, this new generation of users.
Yeah.
Exactly. Who are comfortable with blockchain technology and are looking for, decentralized ways to trade and interact with digital assets.
Precisely. And if those users are already on Base or Solana for their NFT and gaming activities, it's a natural fit for DEXs to set up shop there and meet that growing demand.
That's a good point. It seems like DEXs are becoming more savvy about understanding their target audience.
I think so.
And building products that cater to specific needs.
Couldn't agree more. And as these blockchains continue to evolve and add new features, I think we can expect even more innovation
for sure
within the DEX space.
Speaking of innovation, let's circle back to that debate about vertical integration versus composability in the DEX landscape.
Sure.
It's a topic that came up in our source material. And I think it would be helpful to unpack it for our listeners.
Yeah, it boils down to a fundamental question about how DEXs are going to evolve. On one hand, you have the vertically integrated approach championed by platforms like Uniswap. They're essentially building a comprehensive suite of services within their own ecosystem.
Okay.
Almost like a one-stop shop for trading needs.
So it's like the Apple model.
Yeah, kind of like that, creating a closed ecosystem where everything works together seamlessly.
What are the advantages of that approach?
Well, for users, it offers a very smooth and integrated experience.
Okay.
And for the platform itself, there's the potential to capture more value
Right.
by controlling the entire user journey.
But then there's the other side of the coin.
Right.
Composability.
Composability is all about building DEXs that are modular and interoperable.
Okay.
Think of them like Lego blocks that can be easily combined with other protocols and services in the broader DeFi ecosystem.
So instead of building a walled garden, you're creating open source tools that anyone can use and build upon.
Exactly, and Multicoin is a good example of this approach. They're focused on creating highly specialized, best-in-class components that can plug into other systems, allowing for more flexibility and customization.
Interesting. So what does all of this mean for the future of DEX?
It's honestly too early to say.
Yeah.
And it might not be a binary choice,
Right.
We could very well see a hybrid model emerge where some DEX lean towards vertical integration for a seamless all-in-one experience, while others focus on becoming essential building blocks within a more open and interconnected DeFi ecosystem.
So it sounds like it'll come down to user and developer preferences.
Absolutely. The market will ultimately decide which approach resonates most strongly and delivers the most value.
This is certainly something for our listeners to consider.
For sure.
If you're thinking about using a DEX, think about what kind of experience you prefer.
Right.
Do you want a platform that does it all?
Yeah.
Or do you value the flexibility of mixing and matching different protocols and tools?
It's a great question to keep in mind as you navigate the world of DEXs. Now, before we move on to the final section of our deep dive, I want to briefly touch on another aspect of the DEX landscape.
Okay.
Where this idea of centralization versus decentralization is playing out, prediction markets.
Okay, let's dive into that.
As you mentioned earlier, Polymarket saw incredible volume during the 2024 election cycle.
They did?
But the question is, can this momentum be sustained beyond political events?
Right.
That's what a lot of experts are wondering. The 2024 election created a perfect storm for prediction markets.
Right.
A highly contested race, a lot of uncertainty, and heightened public engagement with political issues.
Plus, the technology has advanced significantly.
It has.
Making it easier than ever for people to participate.
Right.
Platforms like Polymarket have made it quite user-friendly.
Yeah, so the main challenge is finding, new and sustainable use cases that go beyond political events.
Right.
The sources suggest expanding into new or existing vertical markets.
Okay.
Think prediction markets for things like sports, entertainment, economic indicators, even scientific discoveries.
Well, that's fascinating.
Yeah, imagine being able to bet on the outcome of clinical trials or the release date of a new tech product.
Right.
The possibilities are vast.
Yeah.
But the key will be attracting enough liquidity to ensure that these markets function effectively.
Right. You need enough participants
to
create a robust trading environment.
Exactly.
And ensure accurate price discovery.
Yeah, and there's also the issue of market integrity.
Right. How do you prevent manipulation?
Yeah.
And ensure the outcomes of these events are determined fairly and transparently?
That's a crucial point.
Yeah.
Prediction markets rely heavily on accurate and trustworthy information.
Right.
And as they expand into more complex areas, ensuring data integrity will be even more challenging.
It sounds like prediction markets have the potential to be truly revolutionary.
Yeah.
But there are hurdles to overcome.
Absolutely. The future of prediction markets is still unfolding.
Right.
But if platforms like Polymarket can navigate these challenges and expand into new areas, we could see them become mainstream.
Wow.
Influencing everything from financial markets to public policy decisions.
That's a thought-provoking idea.
It is.
It seems like we're on the verge of a major shift in how we think about forecasting and decision-making.
And that's what makes this whole space so captivating,
Right.
It's a constant reminder that the world of decentralized finance is always evolving, pushing the boundaries of what's possible and challenging traditional ways of doing things.
Well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the DEX landscape in 2024.
It does.
We covered a lot of ground.
Yeah.
From market share gains and emerging trading strategies.
We did.
To the exciting potential of prediction markets.
Yeah, and we only just scratched the surface, though.
Right.
There's so much more to explore and discover in this rapidly evolving space.
Absolutely, and that's where you come in. What are your thoughts on what we discussed today?
Yeah.
What opportunities or challenges do you see for the future of decentralized trading?
Right.
Share your thoughts online, discuss with your friends, and most importantly, keep exploring the world of DEX.
For sure.
Who knows what groundbreaking innovations await us in 2025 and beyond.
Until next time, keep diving deep.